Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So this is my first video, and for my first look I'm kind of just gonna do my go-to products that I'm using all the time when I'm doing my face, and a go-to eyeshadow look, which is more like warm colors and a rosy tone. So if you want to see what products I use, if you want to see how to get this look, or if you just want to see the techniques I use, then stay tuned. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off with my face. And before I do the face, you always want to make sure that your face is properly moisturized before you even prime, because that's prepping the skin for the makeup. You want a good canvas to start off with. So I use this True Cream Aqua Bomb by Beverly, and I've already done that. And then I always make sure that I put some chapstick or whatever on so I can moisturize my face, my lips before that too. So for primer, I'm going to use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. And you just rub it in all over your face, and you want to make sure you put a good amount on there. I have mostly dry skin, so I use this primer. It's going to give you like really dewy, kind of like wet look. So this is why I use it. Next, for foundation, I'm going to use the Too Faced Perfect Peach Color Matte Foundation, and it is in the shade Warm Beige. And then I'm going to also combine the Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Foundation. You can combine two foundations if either one's your color and the other one's maybe like a little lighter, or one's like darker and lighter, so you can get the color that you need. I combine both of these. This is my color. This one's a little lighter, but this has, I guess you say, it has the oil in it, so it gives me like a dewy nice look. And then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender. It's not wet, but it's damp, and I'm going to blend it in. And you just want to use light pouncing motions so that you're not picking up too much of the product in the beauty blender. You always want to blend your foundation into your neck. Can't be out here with your face one color and your neck another color. Girls will notice. Okay, now that I have applied my foundation and it is blended out, I'm going to go on to my under eyes. I really have like deep dark bags. It's always been that way. So I like to use a full coverage concealer, which is going to be the Shape Tape by Tarte. And I use light medium honey in their foundations. I'm typically a medium honey, but I like my under eye to look lightened, so I go a shade lighter than my actual foundation. What's nice about this concealer is that it has the wand on it already, so it allows you to apply it easier. And I always apply it at the corners of my nose, just because I always have like weird discoloration going on there, or redness. And then I take the smaller end of the wet beauty blender still, and you want to do the same pouncing motions to blend that out. So next I'm gonna apply some bronzer just to get some warmth in my face, and to help, you know, put more of like a shape to it. So I'm gonna use the Cheek Parade by Benefit, and it has a couple different bronzers and some blushes in there, and I'm gonna use the Hoola bronzer. And then I'm going to apply it with a nice big fluffy brush, and this is from Morphe. It's the Morphe R2 brush. And I'm just going to apply it around the edges of my face and on the outside of my forehead, and a little bit on my cheeks. Now I'm going to do the contour and set my under eyes, and for both of those I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. And for my cheek contour, I'm going to use a small brush so I can kind of just buff it out and make the fine lines that I want to. And that's going to be the Morphe E8. I'm going to take the two colors, Shadow Play and Subconscious, which are these two, and I'm kind of going to put a mix of them because one of them has more of like a gray undertone and then the other one has more like the bronze kind of brown undertone that I like. And you want to blow off any excess powder that you got in there. It's always better to start off with less. If you put too much and you ruin it, then you got to start all over. But you kind of just want to use like small buffing motions. And I really don't have naturally defined cheekbones, so you can kind of imagine where it would be and do it that way. With contouring, you want to put the darker shades where the light doesn't hit your face, so where like the shadows of your face are. I'm going to kind of take it up just a little, and then I'm going to take the same palette and I'm going to take the shade Lyric and I'm going to take the small end of the wet beauty blender and just swipe it across to set my under eyes, and I'm just going to dab it. That way throughout the day I don't get creasing, and so it'll stay that way. Do the same thing and put kind of a line down my nose to contour with that, so it kind of gives the appearance that my nose is slimmer. I'm going to use an angled brush, and it has like a little spoolie at the end so that you can, you know, brush out your eyebrows. And it is by Anastasia Beverly Hills as well, and it is the number 12 brush. And I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera just because it's a little hard to do. So now that I've done my eyebrows, which if you'd like to see how I do my brows, I can do a whole separate video on that. So comment or let me know if that's something that you want to see. Now I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. And I'm just going to do like a basic kind of warm tone and gold look, which is my go-to look. So I'm going to start off by priming my eyelids, and I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Well Dressed CC Eye Primer, and it's a little tan color. It's a little bit lighter than my actual color, but I'm just gonna spread it all over my lid, and I'm gonna take it all the way up as well and just kind of evenly put it everywhere. That shadow. I'm gonna put eyeshadow on. And you do this because it works as a base for the eyeshadow, and then it helps so that throughout the day your eyeshadow isn't going to crease. It just gives like a nice smooth surface to start off on. I'm going to do both eyes. This is the Carly Bible palette, and I'm going to use like a tannish kind of color right here as the base for the eyeshadow, and I always like to put a color like this on the lid. And all the brushes that I'm using today are from Morphe, just because I bought the set that was like Jaclyn Hill's favorites, so it came with like 23 brushes in a whole bundle. So if you're looking for something to start off with brushes and you don't know what to do, this is a good set to use. It is a little bit like on the pricier side. It was a little over $100, but they're really good brushes, and it pretty much gives you everything that you need for the eyes and the face. So I'm going to take this really light color, and I'm going to use a short brush just to apply it on to the center of my lid. And this will kind of set the primer that I put on my lid too. And I'm just going to go back and forth. What I do to one eye, I'll do the other. Okay, then for the rest of the shades, I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill palette that she did with Morphe. And I didn't get the paper that comes with all the shades, so I'm just going to point to them because I don't know the name of the shades. So I'm going to kind of start off with a like shorter, smaller brush, and it is the M513 from Morphe. And I'm gonna pick the lightest kind of brown tone that's in here, which is this color right here. You want to start off lighter to darker when doing eyeshadows, just so you can build the color and build dimension, so it does look like you have more than one color on your lid, and it'll give your lid and your crease depth. And I'm going to go into the crease with kind of circular windshield wiper motions, and I'm going to strictly keep it in the crease area. It's kind of light, it's kind of a little hard to see, but once you start building up the colors, you'll be able to tell. Next, I'm going to take the next kind of darker tannish brown shade, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the exact same brush in my crease. And as I go, you'll start to see that it's building more. At the outer parts of my eye, I would say like the outer corner, I don't really like it to be like a harsh look or like cut. If you want that, you can put tape right at the edges here, and then it'll give you like a really defined look. But I like it to be softer around the edges, just so it looks more blended, but that's my preference. You can go ahead and do the tape thing too if you want it to be really defined and cut. Next, I'm going to take this color, and I'm going to keep doing the same thing with that, with the same brush. So now you can see the colors are starting to build, and you want to make sure that after you pick up the product, that you're not constantly picking up more product. Blend that out first and see how it looks, just so you're not going too crazy. Always start off with gloss. Then next, I'm gonna pick up this shade. This one has like more of a true brown color to it. And I am just going to keep it right here in the outer part of my crease. I'm not going to do the whole crease with this color, just because this is where I want it to stay. Next, I'm going to change brushes, and I'm going to pick up the Morphe M573, and I'm going to pick up this super brown color. Now I'm gonna go into my darker colors, and I just stuck my finger in the shadow. And this is what I'm gonna use kind of again on the outer corner of my lid, and I'm gonna use the tip of the brush, because the tip of the brush is where you get the most color, or the most shadow on there, the most product. And I'm going to stay in the outer corner to really define it. Blending is the most important part of the shadow. You want to make sure that you are getting out any harsh lines. And the blending is really what's going to pull it all together. So now that is blended out, I'm going to take the same brush again, and then I'm going to go into a really darker burgundy color, and I'm going to strictly stay right here in this point. I'm just going to keep it in this spot. And I'm going to stick to using the tip of the brush, because that's where the most shadow is. And I'm just going to use it right here. Alright, so now for the inner corner, I'm going to take the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It's a small pot like this, and it is in the color Vanilla. It's super light. And then I'm just going to take this flat brush. It really doesn't matter what brush it is, but it just has like a tiny little tip on it. And I'm going to take just a little bit of the product, And what you want to do when you're trying to do a cut crease, you can put like a concealer on it or any type of base that is super light, or you could use one that's white or whatever, and you are kind of carving it out on the lid where the crease is, so you can have a base to put whatever glitter or whatever shadow that you want to put on top, which is what I'm going to do. And you want to make sure that you keep the eye closed, and you start off the inner corner and bring it out. You really don't have to put too much product on because a little will go a long way with this. And I'm gonna kind of stop halfway in the middle of my lid. Okay, so now for the glitter metallic color that I'm gonna put on the inner corner of my lid and the center of my lid, I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, and I'm going to pick up a flat brush in order to do this, which is my Morphe M433, and I'm also going to pick up some Mario Badescu Rose Water, and I'm going to spray the brush with it. Just a couple pumps. And spraying your brush before you pick up the shadow, you don't have to do it, but doing this will make the eyeshadow appear more metallic and it's going to stand out more. It'll give you that kind of wet look. And now I'm going to pick up a brush that is round and fluffy, that doesn't have any product on it. And I'm just going to go back and forth with the color on the outer part of my lid and the color that's on my center lid, so I can blend it out ever so lightly, just so it's not harshly going from this dark color to the shimmer. So next I am going to apply the same burgundy dark color that I put right here to define the outer part of my lids, and I'm going to take this really flat square short brush, and it is the M432 brush, and I'm going to take the color and apply it on the waterline of my eyelids so I can kind of smoke it out. And I just picked up a little bit of the product on the tip of my brush, and I'm going to go along, and I'm just gonna do the outside edge mostly. Okay, so next I'm going to go into mascara. I'm gonna apply lashes too, but before you apply the lashes, you can put mascara on so it helps to blend more naturally into the fake ones. And I'm going to use the Lacome Monsieur Big mascara, and I'm also going to apply it on the bottom lashes. I have long lashes on the bottom, but they're like really hard to see if I don't put mascara. Okay, so now for the false lashes, I have the House of Lashes in Featherette. Lashes can be really hard if you're a beginner starting off with doing them. So it's gonna take practice. I've been putting lashes on for a while now, so it comes a little easier to me, but sometimes it'll take you applying them and then taking them off if you don't get them right. But the whole point of when you're putting lashes on, you want to do it as close to your natural lash line as possible. All right, once you place them on there, you can kind of like pull them down and manipulate them a little just so you can get them in place where you want, and then let them dry for about a minute. Make sure you're not touching them so you're not messing them up. Okay, so now that I have my lashes on and they're dry, I'm going to take my mascara again, and I'm going to kind of run it along just the ends of my lashes to kind of blend it in. I don't really want to put it on the inner part where my, like the ends of my lashes, just so I can blend them. Okay, so for one of the final steps, I always like to put my highlighter on last, just so while I'm doing my makeup, I'm not touching it and I'm not messing it up. The highlighter is literally the most important part to me. And for the highlight, I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Omrizi highlighter. It looks like this. So I'm just going to take the tip of the brush, go back and forth. And the way highlighter works is that you want to put it in the parts of that are the high points of your face where the light is actually going to hit you. So that's going to be the cheekbones. Back and forth. And you can kind of do like a C shape here, because the light will also hit that. This highlighter is everything. And then the light also hits your chin, so you want to apply it there. The tip of your nose. I just like to apply it everywhere that the light is going to hit it. This little part in the bridge of your nose. And then your Cupid's bow to give you that nice sweaty top lip. And I'm going to put it right where my tear ducts are. And not only does it glow right here, but it also gives the appearance that your eyes are more like awake, they're more open. And this kind of really pulls the whole eyeshadow look together. And then for my last step, I'm going to do the lips. And for that, I'm going to use this NYX lip liner, and it is in the color Natural. And then next for my lipstick, I'm going to use my all-time favorite lipstick shade, which is Velvet Teddy from MAC. This is most likely the lipstick that I'm wearing in almost every single picture. And for the final step, I am going to use both the Mario Badescu Rose Water, and I'm going to kind of apply that all over my face to give me a dewy look, and then I'm going to set it. So I just want to thank you guys for watching. I hope that you like my first video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, you like, you share, and I hope you stay tuned for what else I have coming.